Good morning and welcome. This is episode 15 of the 4x3 podcast. And I am in a tunnel at the moment, which is at the side of a highway rest area. Now, this tunnel, seasonally or not seasonally, occasionally will fill up with water, and it leads up to a river system. I think it all links up. And whenever it floods, if it floods, it will spread out into the world, into the nature reserve areas. And this is a little monument bridge with a little tunnel as well. So if all goes well, my microphone will only pick up my noise. If not, you will hear this very echoing sound like you're in an auditorium, I guess. If you could just, if I could just give another, and plenty of graffiti around, which is the usual statement made by certain people, and it's basically, a testament or a, it's basically an homage, like. You'll never not find graffiti in places like this anyway, so I don't blame no one for it. It's here to stay. No one's cleaning it up, so there you go. And I can't say it's been very eventful lately, but one thing that I did get up to recently was we went to see a TV presenter, what would you call it, an entertainer from Gardening Australia, and this person's name is Costa, and they are one of the biggest gardening experts on TV. I guess it's more like a TV program for children. Oh, well, he has a couple of programs. One is like aimed at children, and I'd say most of his stuff is children friendly. And people like me enjoy his entertainment because I do gardening at home, and there's a lot of cool stuff that he does. And so he was in the region, and we went to see him. And basically it was just an hour to 2 hour workshop where he talked for a while about sustainability and the future, and what you can do in your household when it comes to recycling and trying not to do certain things to become a part of a society where we're constantly going to the store and buying plastic over and over again. And I mean, we're all hypocrites in that regard, but it can be a bit difficult. So yeah, that was a big talk, and it was at a community garden for a 10-year anniversary, and they have a few things there, and it's a seasonal garden. So at the moment, and I don't, it might be early, but at the moment they've got capsicum, which I thought was pretty much early, but anyway, they've got snow peas, pepino, apricot, tarragon, thyme, a bunch of different herbs and vegetables, parsnip. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but they have different types of garden beds. Some of them are garden beds made out of hay, so you'll get hay bales that are in like a sort of a square. And as I think about it, I don't remember much. The pepino is on some sort of trestle at the far back corner, and the apricot is almost upon entry. But anyway, this event was pretty good. It was pretty good to meet this person and listen to what they had to say. Very eventful and exciting for me and the kids, because the kids admire this person, and I wasn't sure if I was going to take them, but 100%, without a doubt, I went. Couldn't miss out on that opportunity. And so obviously after the event, I came home and started going crazy and trying to do more in my garden. So I've been doing this thing where I don't mow. I haven't mowed since I moved. I'll pick out the grass, mostly because anything that's growing on the earth that's new, I want to keep if I find anything that I admire. And the stuff that's coming up now seems to be wild lettuce. Anyway, so I haven't found anything new in this particular area that I was in, but I took a garden shovel or a hoe and I started digging out the roots and started basically killing the grass and creating this giant circle patch. And in the circle patch, I spread out some alfalfa seeds, and I've been watering them every day, and sometimes 2 times a day. And not only in that section, but I've also, in another section, sprouted some alfalfas, and they're coming out well. But I'm not doing them as sprouts. I'm trying to do them as a complete flower. And there's multiple other sections which I have sprouted alfalfa seeds. Now this giant patch I'm hoping will work on the outer layer. So on the outer circle, I'm trying to do sunflower seeds. In the previous years, I've had trouble doing this type of thing, growing on the ground because of pests, namely mice, earwigs, I don't know, other things. And I don't know if there's just luck or the weather's changing or I've somehow gotten rid of these pests, but over time I've created these sections which are clusters where there are healthy areas, and there's a couple of them at the moment, and I want to sort of connect them together at some point and create a healthy environment, garden. But anyways, that patch that I've got going on is working quite well at the very minute, but I don't want to jinx it. I'm also planting a fair amount of fruit trees, and every single day I'm trying to plant new seeds for spring, because that seems to be the most successful time of year somehow. And so when I got home, that evening or the day after or something, I think it was that day, I was watching a video. He was talking about the place we were at. So he did a video after this Costa character. He did a video after we had left, another live stream because it screwed up or something. Anyway, he was talking about a lasagna garden, and I had forgotten about those, and I guess I must not have cared too much about them anymore. But basically what you do is you create a layering system. So you'll have, I don't want to butcher this, you'll have a green layer and then a brown layer and a green layer. You basically build a compost pile, and I don't know, it'll be the size of a little garden bed, and then on top you'll add a soil base or a compost, and then you plant some seeds, in there, and what happens is those plants will grow, and then, this is from my understanding, and then that underneath layer will compost down and break down over time, and it will provide organic matter for the plants that are going to root down. So I immediately started doing that in a little square in a specific area, so it was alright. And then I carved out a little section that rounded off to my grapevine, and then I put little stepping stones that led up to this little grapevine area, so it's a little pathway. And then I purchased some strawberry plants. I didn't know where I was going to put them, so whatever, I put them at the sides of the stepping stones, so when you walk through there'll be the little strawberry plants next to it. And then I had these little statues. I placed it on either side of the first stepping stone, so those sides don't have strawberry plants on it, but they have those little cool water feature type things. So as soon as I get the lasagna garden going, that should make a nice little feature, hopefully. The only pain in the ass thing is, when I think of something like this, I don't usually have the compost readily available. Now, it's around this time of the year that I usually start a new compost pile for next year. And my materials are limited at this current time period because I only get a certain amount of green material leading up to spring, and the brown material I do have was pure luck. So I had a bunch of hay, a bunch of straw that I purchased off of a friend, and so we had a big pile of that for a while, and that got spread out evenly and composted and things like that. And I guess now we're sort of eating a bit more of the fruits and vegetables, so we got that for compost as well. I think there's a car coming. And so it's all coming along, and hopefully this time we get a lot more vegetables. I'm slightly trying a little bit more harder, but it's going to be without the organic matter, so straight in the earth, or whatever's left over from winter, so the soil that's left over from winter, or certain areas that I haven't really grown in yet, I guess. But yeah, that event was pretty good. And after the event, we had this free soup thing that they made. That was pretty good, and we got a photo with this Costa character. And that was pretty good. And now I'm just out and about again, heading off into my local community, and quite soon enough I'm given the chance to try and make a little promo video for a local cafe. So I'm going to try hard with that, and it's going to be difficult because I have to actually try. And other than that, I've started to go for a walk again, and I went for another 5k walk, and I hadn't done that in a while. Well, the other day I might have done that, but yeah. Well, I did do that the other day. I took a big square loop, a large square loop. It was probably like 6k's. I don't know how long it was, but today I did the regular walk that I did with my dog a few weeks ago, which I stopped doing for no good reason, and there was a little light that I'd lost on the side of the road, or in a little hidden off area, and couldn't find it, so I ended up buying a new one. And today, for the first time in a long time that I've gone out there, I actually found that light again. It had fallen out of my pocket one of those times that I'd gone for a walk, and yeah, wow, it was hilarious just to find that light again. Well, I've been watching a few horror movies and a few cinematic films that I'm trying to figure out how to do the lighting to match the style, because I am going to try and make a short film, and it's going to be hard, but the only issue is I'm trying to do it in a way where I've got the first idea written down and it's ready to be filmed, so it's like a minute long worth of, video, or a minute and a half, I don't know. And then I'm going to try and write the next bit, and then the next bit, and the next bit. And I mean, it's a stupid way to do it, but the ideas are only coming along in sections. So when I film one bit and write up the idea for that, I come up with more of the idea after that, and then so on and so on. And I don't know. When I was younger, that's sort of how I did things, and I made a few cool little 20-minute films, like when I was 15 or under 15. And that was a long time ago. That was 20 years ago when I was 14. 20 years ago. That is fucking scary. Because I feel like that was yesterday. And I am 34 now. And that's mind-boggling. But other people think that 10 years is like a long time. To me, 10 years is like yesterday, like 2014. What the fuck? 10 years ago. But 2012 is still memorable to me, like heavily. And that feels like yesterday. And it's just so odd. It's so bizarre. But anyway, I made these 20-minute films, and I used whatever shitty little camera I had, and I did it from start to finish. And the way I learned how to do it was just watching films and then copying their method and then just going for it. Granted, they were shitty little films, but the point is, it wasn't written down for starters, and I'm sure I did a lot of filming and then thinking and then filming again, which is not the ordinary thing to do, the thing to do normally. And if you're trying to make something that's okay-ish, it's harder to convince people to partake in it if it's not like on a professional level. But I've never really had that problem. I've even had ideas that I've had actors come to, and I just think the idea was stupid anyway, and they've still come along. And that system is just gone now for me. I was able to hire, without payment, just people who were just interested in, adding the videos to their show reel so they can get paid work and whatnot. But now the service I use, you have to pay a subscription fee, and I don't know what it's like anymore. And reading reviews, apparently it's no good. So my approach now is to put out flyers. We'll see what happens, really. Maybe we can take like a minute to walk around.